So what were you saying?
Hey guys.
Hey,
Hey, everybody.
There was a hockey film that starred John Candy back during his SCTV days called, I think it was called Power Play.
Mhm.
And he was a member of a team called the Toronto Bay Leafs.
How did I never see this?
And he and his friend would be like walking down the street, and when they stopped, they'd both turn sideways and do
How did I not see this?
I don't know.
This is an actual movie?
I think so. Yeah, it might have been a part of SCTV. I don't remember exactly.
Oh, okay.
Power Play, yeah, made in 1983.
Really?
I've never heard of it.
I gotta search that out.
You have to watch it.
That's the first thing I do when I get off this ship of fools.
John Candy and Joe Flaherty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Two of my favorites.
Doesn't get more Canadian than that.
No,
not at all.
He plays Billy Stemhovelichki.
What?
That's John Candy's name in the movie. Is Billy Stemhovelichki. I can't even say it.
That's very funny. I gotta watch that.
But the Toronto Bay Leafs, that's hilarious.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
I lived in Canada for a little bit. I got to go see the Edmonton Oilers play.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's fast. I mean, when you see a good hockey game, like when you see teams that know how to play, playing each other, some of the stuff is just fantastic. Like pucking between the skates, you know what I mean? As others passing is just fantastic.
Oh, I used to do that, pucking between the skates all the time. Not on purpose, but
you stepped on it by accident.
He used to follow directly behind the stick.
Yes. I saw the Edmonton Oilers live, Game 7, Stanley Cup Finals.
Nice.
Against North Carolina.
What channel was that on?
It was weird. It was really weird. We got to go to Game 7. My hockey team and I were sitting around having beers, and one of the guys says it was late at night. One of the guys says to the other, "If any of you guys can get us some tickets to Game 7 in Raleigh, I'll fly us up and back on my jet."
Wow!
And up until then, we'd known this guy on our team forever, and so it's like, you have a jet? This is the first time you're telling us you have a jet? Didn't you think to mention that? The guy who, when you come to split the check, it's like, I don't know, $5. I think I only owe $4.95. You know, it's like, but he's got a jet.
He's got a jet,
and so we did. So we got the tickets, and we jetted up on a private jet. Right. Got a limousine ride to the hotel. Got a limousine ride to the.
How did you even get the tickets? That's amazing.
You could get the tickets because it was Game 7, so like everyone was on an equal footing, and this guy got another guy on my team got us like 5 tickets.
Amazing.
That's pretty cool.
And when you know a guy with a jet, you could pull some strings.
Well, no, it had nothing to do with it, but yeah, but I tell you, it was so weird because it's North Carolina. So 3/4 of the people there don't know anything about hockey, so they cheer when there's an icing. They cheer when the puck drops. They cheer. It's like they have no idea. And every one of them stood up through the entire game. Mm-hmm. No one ever sat down through the entire game. You had to, if you sat down, you couldn't see. So you had to stand up for hours. And oh my God,
hate that.
Yep.
Did anyone throw an octopus on the ice?
No.
I was going to say when I was in Edmonton, I threw 10W30 oil on the ice because they're the Oilers, and I thought, coming from Florida with the rats, we throw the rats on the ice, so I just chucked 10W30. They were not impressed.
Not happy.
Not like that. No.
Tell me more about this throwing rats on the ice.
Throwing rats. Yeah. They did that at Panther games long ago.
Mm-hmm. The year of the rat, 1996.
Not live rats, plastic rats.
They still do it.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. If you ever watch one of their games and they're like in the lead or something, you'll see rats get thrown out on the ice. Supposedly, the story goes that one of the hockey players hit a rat and killed it with his hockey stick,
That's right.
Generated the whole thing.
We did that. And shortly after that, we got a cat and named it after Scott Mellenby. So we had a cat named Mellenby for many years. But yes, he in the locker room there was a rat, and he grabbed a stick. And it got to the point where it was really. I've been to games, and you'd sit there, and somebody would score, or something would happen, and suddenly 1,000 rats would be on the ice, and they'd have to stop the game. And it started with like 10 or 20, and now it was just you couldn't even see the ice; it was just covered with rats. And they had to stop the game and go out there with shovels and get the rats off. And then another goal would be scored, and another 1,000 rats out on the ice. It was freaking crazy.
I guess that's where the phrase "the rat trick" came, huh?
Yeah.
In Boston, my brother lived up in Boston, and at the live Celtic games, they'll have, when the Celtics are like really kicking ass, they'll have this Gino character come on from like one of the disco dance shows from the 70s, like super disc. What I don't even know what the name of it is, but he does this stupid dance, and then everybody in the audience does the stupid dance.
Oh, I bet you. I bet you.
Are you familiar with it? Because you might.
I bet you it's Gene the dancing machine.
Oh, okay.
Gene the dancing machine.
Wow.
But the whole audience is doing all the moves, and I'm thinking like this is the biggest. Like if I was the other team, I would find this very insulting, because it's just everyone's making fun of you. But I love it. It was when my brother sent that to me, I thought that was interesting. It's neat how every stadium does its own thing.
The dancing machine was this guy Gene. I can't remember his last name now. Who did the Gong Show?
Okay,
Gene, whatever his name was. He was a TV producer, and what's that?
Simmons?
No. It'll come to me. Hang on.
Yeah, Gene the dancing machine. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. I'm sorry. His name was
the Gong Show.
He was the guy was Chuck Barris. But that Gene the dancing machine thing came about with him on his show, the Gong Show.
Yeah, Eugene Patton.
Right.
There was a guy that used to dance at Nick games back in the 70s. He called himself Dancing Harry. But don't ask me why I know that.
Well,
we were too cool to get up and dance with him.
Oh, there was a group. It was before my time. Not very many things were, but there was a group of guys who used to go to Ebbets Field for Brooklyn Dodgers back in the early 50s. They called it the something symphony, like phony, and they had one of them had a trumpet, one of them had a trombone, another one had a big drum, another one had a whatever, and they would play in the stands. I mean, they had an organist, but no, everyone wanted this group to play, and it was hilarious. I saw films of them doing it. It was just crazy stuff. I forget what they called the group, but they were around for years. It was like a clown show.
Looks here like it was the Brooklyn Symphony Band.
Yeah, that's it.
Band members with Roy Campanella, Gil Hodges, and Carl Farillo.
Oh, wow. So it's the actual players.
Some of them were, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1940s. Wow. Tom, listen. You gotta get the trombone going.
Pennsylvania 6 5
5,000.
Oh.
I'm Glenn Miller, you sons of bitches.
Go die in an air crash.
I love big band, and I discovered it in high school, and I never dated, obviously, because I was into big band. So I would drive people home from like work and stuff. I'm like, hey, just so you know, I listen to jazz. They're like, okay. So I'd have like Harry Connick Jr. Red Light, Blue Light on, or I'd have like Glenn Miller on, or back in the day down here in Florida, they had the radio station where at night you just had that jazz voice guy. He's like, next up on the jazz voice, like super deep.
Yeah.
Love that shit.
Steve, do you remember the time, or Barry, remember the time that I subbed for a black DJ for 2 nights.
I do.
No,
Oh,
I subbed for Dante's Johnson.
Dante Johnson, yeah.
Yeah, he had like a 4 to 8 o'clock show or whatever, and it was a very black show. But in the day back then, it wasn't hip hop. It was more like Brothers Johnson and stuff like that, R&B. And so he needed a sub, so I subbed for him, and I try. It was like a Venus flytrap kind of thing. It was I was trying to not let his audience know that a white guy was subbing for him, so I was saying all kinds of shit and talking. My name was Hip Deep, and
walking in the station looking like shit.
And you got to love. You got to put the music in your life if you want any life in your music. That's what I'm telling you right now. Okay.
Dante Johnson. I haven't thought of him in a long time.
Dante's Johnson. And we said, why don't you call it Dante's Inferno? Jackson. And he looked at us like, what the hell is that? I said, never mind. don't call it Dante's Inferno.
Smiley Jackson. He was always, remember Smiley Jackson? There's another DJ. His senior year was our freshman year. He was a really cool dude. And Phil,
Phil?
What the hell was Phil? Phil's last name?
DeBole?
No. I'm gonna have to ask Chase.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have to ask Chase. But he was there for a couple of years while we were there.
Don't know.
Oh, whatever.
What a trip down memory lane for everyone.
Absolutely. On today, National Welsh Rarebit Day.
I'm gonna have to tell my wife about all these old stories. She won't believe it. We have a good relationship, but I try not to.
Why ruin it with college stories?
Yeah.
Well, she's met Tom.
Right? Who has?
Barry's wife.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. You make that sound like some life milestone or something.
They were
married, had children, had Tom.
Milestones as well as positive. They call them tombstones.
Yeah.
We lost Alex.
Just temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's doing.
He has productive things to do.
Yeah. Apparently, people that he works with are always in need of help. Whenever I worked for a company, I never asked anybody for help. Never asked anyone for help.
Why is that?
Because I knew these suckers didn't know any more than I did. It's like, and they'd never tell you that. They try to be helpful, but you'd wind up getting in more hot water. Just figure it out.
This is
and you don't want to show weakness.
No, of course not. Because really, when you're the people you're working with, I mean, you all have like a partnership.
Yeah, like a marriage.
Yeah,
almost.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's about.
I tried like a minute ago.
I know you did. But we're there now.
Yeah.
Because marriage. I don't know if you know it can be a partnership.
Oh, do tell.
I don't have to tell. Someone else will.
Oh, goody.
What a coincidence. I was just saying that same thing.
New York State College of Home Economics.
Wow. Train sounds.
On our way now. Can't turn back. Took a lot of courage to get on this train. I wonder what will happen from now on. I wonder.
Now that I've joined the Green Berets.
In the last year. Our first year of marriage. Gee, we got a good start. I remember coming home from a wonderful honeymoon. We were so fortunate. Our housing problem was taken care of. Pete's mother owned a 2-family house. She was a widow and lived upstairs, and we were going to live downstairs. Pete had a good job, worked in the same plant as my dad. But Dad didn't introduce us, though. We met at the church.
I'll do all the heavy lifting, hon.
I still haven't forgiven Daddy for not telling me about Pete. In our 2 years of courting and engagement, we had come to know a lot about each other. And we had learned to love each other in a way that stood the test of 2 years' time, anyway.
And he learned exactly how much I weigh.
I gotta go ice cream.
Oh, get a room.
There we were, in our own place. Place that was to be our home, at least for a while. Well, we had to unpack. And we were both so tired.
We didn't know the place was haunted. Haunted?
Daddy.
Who the hell are you?
Duchess. Madam, here is thy royal throne.
Oh, my God.
Seat thyself in royal splendor while I
Oh, my God.
shall get thee thy royal
Oh, my God.
cup of coffee.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
All right, that's it. Is it
Oh,
too
my
late to
God.
get an annulment? I was not aware there was
His
Shakespeare
cream
involved.
sugared exactly to my taste.
Oh, God.
Thou
Oh, my
shalt be my
God.
royal brewmaster for
Improv.
evil coffee
Jesus.
from this day forward.
From this day forward.
Oh, my God.
To have and to hold. Oh, Pete,
Pete.
we're going to be so happy together.
Our cups touched.
I feel so comfortable with you.
Like a couch.
I feel like I can take my shoes off.
I'll always love you, Daddy.
Oh, don't do that.
Always.
I love you even if you take your shoes off.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if time would stand still? If we could always keep what we have tonight. From the beginning, we were learning to live together and to love together, learning to adjust different sexual responses.
Why did I have to kill him?
Time doesn't stand still, and marriage is far more than loving together and enjoying companionship. It's making decisions together, and we had to learn to plan as partners. That first Monday morning, I was so proud of my man going out to earn a living for us. And Pete was so proud of me cooking our first married meal.
Sure tastes like a married meal, huh?
It was time for Pete to go to work.
Have fun cleaning and cooking. We'll see
He
you.
said he didn't want to go, but he was a responsible married man now.
3 secretaries.
When you marry, you have to adjust to many changes. And we had decided I should quit my job when we married. Maybe I should say quit my paycheck. I still had a job.
Ha ha. Ha ha.
As the weeks went by, sometimes I regretted that decision to quit my job. For one thing, I missed those paychecks. And staying home was hard. It was an adjustment I had to work out.
I'll just stay here and do the dishes. Grab a pan.
But there were satisfactions in being a married pair. One thing was our partnership in handling the money. Conflicts over money can be a real problem in marriage. But we decided together how Pete's salary would be spent. Maybe we didn't always agree, but we decided together.
He made $4 a week.
So our joint decisions on this and other problems of home management helped in my adjustments from a working girl to a non-employed wife.
Oh my God.
Aided by little bits of fun and thoughtfulness,
Mailing
the
cash.
partnership flourished. Another thing, Pete's contributions to my sense of accomplishment. I had a lot to learn about cooking and keeping house. And sometimes those things can seem unimportant and dull. Believe
Shit
me,
take again?
a wife does appreciate her husband's appreciation. And, of course, that works both ways. I tried to learn about Pete's job. Sometimes I shared his enthusiasms. And there were times when I had to help absorb his frustrations. It was all part of the partnership. Of course, our marriage had its ups and downs. They all do. But I guess we had worked out pretty good adjustments on affections and our sex life.
When he sent me to Dachau that I had a problem.
Adjusting to each other, adjusting to our marriage, sort of showed us how to face these problems.
Now I have to live
But
on a
another
train.
potential source of trouble, in-laws. When we first planned to move into that two-family house, I thought of all those mother-in-law jokes.
There's Amityville.
Still, they couldn't apply to nice people like us. But there were things like I was planning my first bridge luncheon. Honey, Jane can't come on Thursday.
Isn't that bridge built yet?
Mother plays a good game of bridge.
Yes, but
Yeah.
maybe she wouldn't enjoy playing with a bunch of giddy girls.
The bridge takes a toll on me.
People.
Of course, I asked her. She insisted on bringing a fancy cake.
You don't mind if I spark up, do you?
It was delicious, everyone said. Helped make a good party.
It's a pleasure to see
everybody.
I
My
got
party.
the ecstasy.
Afterwards, Pete said he was glad I had asked her. He said she could have
let's
seen
do
from
shots
upstairs
and we'll
that
get this
something was
bridge
going
going.
on. I'd have felt left out.
You
How
don't
did
mind
I
if I do
feel?
a bump of coke, do you?
As if we were living in a huge goldfish bowl. But I couldn't explain it to Pete. Oh, it wasn't all bad. Pete's mother and I had good times together.
Till that time I walked
Shopping,
into
for
the
instance. I could learn a
monkey
lot
meter.
from her. Her experience in getting bargains. Her little tips on Pete's special likes and dislikes. But, well, one afternoon, Pete stopped in upstairs to deliver a package his mother had asked him to pick up. And it turned into a habit to drop into his mother's on his way from work 2 or 3 times a week.
Then they're going to buy a hotel. Her
I
mother's
didn't
going to
mind
live
so
on a
much
hill above
supper
the
being
hotel.
late. I kept telling myself. But somehow, it seemed on those nights, we always got into an argument, sooner or later.
Why do you always throw your stupid hat? You never make it.
Why can't you kiss like your
I
brother?
tried to tell Pete how I felt,
Why can't you kiss
but
like
it
your
was
mom?
no use. He'd just get sore and make some crack about my family. I thought my family was pretty wonderful. Why, Dad and I were real pals.
That's
We
not your
talked
real
things
dad.
over. About Pete's mother, I mean. Dad could understand. So could Mom. We had some good chats together on Saturday afternoons when Pete would play golf.
Why don't you just leave him, honey? You can move back in
It
with
was a
us.
joy to see the way Mom and Dad understood each other, anticipated each other's needs, sometimes without a word being spoken.
Your father
They
held
had
up a
really
Baskin
grown
Robbins
together
last
in
night.
their marriage. Why
You
couldn't
were
we?
laws are out once.
Well, in more ways than one, it was a long fall and a cold, hard winter. Meanwhile, we were still working out other adjustments together. Little things.
Like, why is our table
My
against the wall?
serving liver and learning to enjoy it because Pete liked it so much.
Liver.
Because I
Big
can't eat
things.
something different.
50 ways
Pete's
to love your
realizing their
liver.
wife still likes to go out once in a while.
Dude, even his shirt has
Remembering
eczema.
the anniversary of our engagement, with tickets to a special show he knew I'd been wanting to see.
Mary Poppins.
Married life isn't all Hollywood moonbeams and honeysuckle, but it can be mighty satisfying at times.
My life isn't all Hollywood moonbeams and honeysuckle,
Came
darling.
spring,
Honeysuckle.
and my first spring house cleaning. And, well, it was Pete's mother. It wasn't that she criticized me, or even told me how to do
You're
things.
doing it wrong.
But somehow, whatever I did, she did too. But in a different way. And it seemed to me she always thought her way was better.
I use the blood of virgins.
There were so many little
Hot
situations that probably wouldn't have mattered if we hadn't lived in the same house. But I felt so awkward and inferior and mad.
I'll poison her with arsenic.
That evening,
That
after
fire's still
supper,
going, huh?
I thought the
Burn the
time
house.
seemed ripe to talk to Pete about us.
Pete, your mom's in the
Suddenly-
fire.
Daddy, I
Oh, Pete has lines.
I wanted the fourth.
I got a surprise in today's mail. An offer of another job. Wonderful job. But way over in Central City.
It's in Siberia.
Let's talk it over. It's time we get away. Do something really decisive about the influence of your parents on our marriage.
My parents?
Listen to me all the way, honey, before you get mad. It's time we've got to talk this thing out. You don't know what it's like working in the same plant as your wife's father.
Dad
He
likes
got you.
Pete. He's done so much for you.
Oh, sure he has, dear. I know. Your dad's been swell.
It's just that
Try to understand me.
He keeps sexually
It
harassing
means so much
me
to
at
have you
our
understand.
office.
he keeps calling me hon.
Golly,
He keeps
I
criticizing the
feel
length
that
of
way,
the
Pete.
time.
You just do. There must be reasons.
Well, they may not seem very important to you.
I think me, you,
Tell
and
me,
Mom
Pete.
ought to move.
Things like, well, when I got that promotion in December, you said how grand it was of your dad to help. I mean, praising me to the boss and all. Oh, I felt as though I earned that raise myself. And stories of influence like that didn't help me with the other fellas. And then you appreciated your dad's efforts. I wanted you to appreciate
join
mine.
your bridge club, hon.
Pete,
There's just not enough room at the bridge
Darling.
club.
how could I have been so stupid?
And I'd heard when you carried our family troubles to your folks and spoke of their house as home and compared us with your folks.
I understand.
They're Jewish and you're not.
Come to think of it, Pete, I suppose part of me never really did get married. How
You're
could I really
absolutely-
build
I
our
should-
marriage with part of me wanting them to approve everything I did?
Which part? Left leg.
I should want less.
Gosh,
When
what
I-
a difference when you see the other fellow's point of view. When you recognize that you aren't the only one with problems. We did have to face the other issue. It was hard telling Pete about his mother, so he wouldn't
Being in
think
the
of it as
fire
a
and all.
counterattack.
Pete, I think
He
we should
tried to
adopt
understand.
your
and I
mother.
tried to be fair about it. I could see that I'd been on the
Abandon her.
defensive. I hadn't understood that a widow might sort of need a man around the house. And Pete said that he needed, that
An
both
orgy.
of us needed to grow up more, needed to grow away from our parents a bit more.
Why don't we live off the land? We'll move to
Chuck and I-
Montana.
Haven't we, hon?
We can talk our troubles out this way. We're really growing up. We're growing together.
Oh my God.
Take
Sure
me.
helps a lot when you can bring things out in the open.
Yeah, I think there's
Talk
something
'em
I
out
need in the
together.
garage.
How do you feel about Central City, hon?
I think
I
Carbon
would like to
monoxide.
get away to a new job. Be out
It's
my
a little
home.
two in the middle.
And it is a big change, and
Central City's so
maybe
far
we
west.
don't need to run away from our parents now.
Wouldn't be running away.
What about that job in the metropolis?
Really want that new
You mean
job.
Gotham City?
And that's what we want.
Oh, you're holding my neck too tight. I can't breathe.
Yes, it's a big change. New friends,
Who would have known
new
it would
home, church,
led to
new
divorce?
adjustments in living.
Will they
There'll
ever
be other
find his
problems
body in the
ahead.
ashtray?
Bigger problems. But it'll be the two of us working together.
Hi, honey.
His
Like
twin
some
brother.
big
Hey,
black
where'd you
guy
been?
shows up.
Talking to the conductor, trying to get Pullman accommodations. And I got them.
Ooh, gee, Pete, you're thoughtful.
Yeah, Mom's
Hey,
here.
Duchess, what am I doing on this seat?
It's gonna be a long,
Pete and I
long
will
train
both
ride.
miss our folks.
My
All
face
of
was
them.
stuck to his hair for 3 days.
The grandmothers would have made
Next
good
stop, Central
babysitters.
City.
But wherever
Next
Pete's
stop,
job
Transylvania,
takes us,
65,000.
even back to our hometown, I know we'll work things out
I wonder if
together
the train will go into
as
the tunnel.
partners.
They were never seen again. Wow.
Yeah.
And the train went into a tunnel and was never.
Yeah.
I know what
Golly.
that symbolism means.
Exactly.
Yeah, tunnels.
Well, I found that informative, but I'd like to pose a question. What did we learn?
Well, I learned that parts of her weren't married, so maybe those were up for grabs, probably.
His mom sucks.
Yeah.
That's one of those life lessons. His mom sucks. Yeah.
His mom sucks.
Yeah.
She's a widow.
We all have a friend whose mom sucks.
Yeah.
Sucky mom.
Saki bomb.
Whew.
I agree.
Steve, what did you learn?
What?
What did you learn?
I learned that I can never get back to past 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, the news gets even it gets even worse because there's 12 more minutes to go before the next 12 minutes after that. So I don't know how this is going to work. But we do have some sports.
National Skyscraper Day.
What's that?
Today's National Skyscraper Day.
Are you telling tall tales?
No. Serious. It's also the beginning of National Waffle Week.
Ooh, that is my favorite week. It's the Hanukkah for foodies.
Belgian national holiday.
Are there 8 squares on the waffle?
They celebrate the fact that the syrup never ran out.
Right?
Well, didn't they paint syrup over the doors on...
It was powdered sugar that they put on the doors, so the spirit of waffle knew.
Just to keep the bacon away, right? Uh-oh.
There's so much about Judaism.
The top half of the screen is giving me a look.
Yeah, notice Steve and I stopped at the same time.
Who knows?
I do love your culture, and I am a supporter of Passover.
I know more Yiddish than I do Italian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, anyway.
All right, sports.
Sports. We got we've got a very interesting sport for our sports segment, which we're back at now.
That's a pretty big statement from all the sports that we've seen.
This one, I think it's going to surprise you. It's well, it shouldn't surprise you too much because Alex, you're going to mostly be calling this one.
Am I?
Yeah. It's an egg race.
You're gonna have waffles.
Egg race. Are you ready?
I'll do my best.
Okay. I mean, we can all do it. But,
I got. By the way, I got my egg sound effects all queued up.
Okay, good. Ready? Are you ready for
yes,
the egg race? Here we go.
I'm not seeing anything.
Okay.
Gotta plug in the female.
It's the egg race. Which came first, the egg or the race?
Here we go.
Oh, wow. Oh. Look at that. All right, looks like we've got the turquoise egg is starting to open up. We've got the brown egg.
green egg and no ham.
This is very exciting. It's hatching. We've got movement on the left. They're pushing through the shell.
Looks like brown egg is playing it very coy, playing it sort of a defensive posture here.
I think what it's doing is it's saving all of its energy for that big burst through.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you've got the Nebula on the right that seems to be doing okay. He seems to be coming out.
Are we decoyed?
Okay. He's working his way out of that egg.
Brown egg is I don't know.
Taking it over easy.
Every time I see this, it always reminds me of Black Friday.
Easy. Looks like it's going to be a scramble to the finish.
We've got the green egg coming out easy.
Yeah.
Brown
egg may find a way to get through.
I'm rooting that the brown egg is actually a scorpion, and they're right next to each other, and the scorpion will then eat the baby chicken. Come on, green! You can do it!
Look at that. Now, brown egg is really...
Look at that.
Look at that. Green egg is not finished. Brown egg is... Yeah. Brown egg is the winner.
Chicken dinner.
Yeah. The winner of the egg race. Wow. That was something.
The green egg was going out to get some ham.
Mm-hmm. Now, we have some footage, some other footage. There was a third contestant that was supposed to take part, but that contestant got injured in warm-ups. We have footage of that. Yeah, he got. Yeah, he was doing some road work, and that's.
No, that's
very, very unfortunate. So it wound up to be a 2-egg race. Whew. Miracle. So yeah. Was that? What?
I thought I heard my doorbell.
Oh.
I didn't hear anything.
No. All right. That was exciting.
Oh, that was it's like watching egg dry.
Yeah.
Didn't make me want to eat an egg.
No, it did not. I wondering what was happening with the other green eggs that were next to the other. I mean, were they just like subs? Or?
They were on deck.
Yeah, on deck.
Just sleeping in.
Yeah.
No.
Pinch eggs. Yeah.
What kind of a beak is that? That's known as that gets them out of the egg.
It's kind of a beak.
Yeah, isn't there an egg beak or something like that? It's a specific thing.
No idea.
I think it's just called,
I don't know.
A beak.
Yeah, Alex knows this time. He was calling the race, so I think he's more familiar with it than I am.
What do you think?
It's called the stooch.
The stooch.
The stooch. There's a little raised section on the baby beak of the bird or the chick that's trying to get out of the egg, and so it's got to use its stooch to break through the egg.
Got to use that stooch if you got one.
Yeah, use it or lose it, I guess.
Yeah, use it.
Yeah, like stooch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably where that saying comes from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, have a stooch. Give a stooch. Need a stooch. Take a stooch.
Exactly.
I knew a guy in the Bronx they called Stooch.
Well,
did he come out of an egg?
No, he's just an uptight dude.
Mm.
That was the last name.
Huh.
Stooge Companies.
I'm just calming myself down now. That was
Get you all worked up.
I've never seen that before.
I'm still puzzled by how they figured the brown guy won.
I'm still wondering what happened to the egg.
It's fixed. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was fixed. Well, I think the brown guy, the other guy still had part of the egg on its head, whereas the brown guy was actually out and his head was clear from that.
Yeah, I think it was all CGI.
You think?
I don't think it was real.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the brown guy did come from behind. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think it's real because I'm a flat egger. And those eggs were oval. But whenever I've had an egg on my plate, it's flat. So I think it's a scam.
Oh, by the way, that thing is known as the egg tooth.
Egg tooth.
Egg tooth.
Yeah, the stuk.
Egg tooth. Or stuk. Yeah.
Egg stooge.
Okay.
The egg tooth. It's just got one big buck tooth. It's like, I'm trying to get out the egg here.
Well,
Down the hatch.
well,
I ain't getting out of this egg. I'm hanging on to my egg stooge.
Okay, got to pay a bill or two.
Crash With Us is brought to you by Whoa-Ah. Whoa, it's Whoa-Ah. Whoa, that's right. Whoa-Ah. Whoa, it's awesome. We don't know what it means, but when people see it, they say whoa. Brought to you by the makers of TTFN. Why type 3 letters when you can type 4? It's everywhere. It's Whoa-Ah. Whoa. The Dawn Patrol is brought to you by
Wrong Job for You. Is everyday life too overwhelming? Nothing you do turns out right. You just don't know how to chill. Are you confused, clueless all the time? Is your anxiety so bad that you have to do yoga just so you can go to yoga? Are you not really a logical thinker? Well, then why not become a life coach? That's right. No, really, a life coach. We can help you even if you can't. Become a goddamn life coach, or try one of our other professions. Overweight fitness instructor, anorexic health guru, colorblind interior decorator, well-adjusted comedian, atheist football coach, psychologist. So what if you suck?
Yeah, psychologist was in there.
Yeah.
Huh.
Why not?
Yeah.
Okay, paid the bills. Good.
Right, good. All right.
Well,
how do our finances work with those things?
You're the one with the DP 9000.
Is that where the paycheck comes from? Is from the ad revenue?
It's where mine comes from. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering when I was going to start to see. All right.
Residuals?
Yeah, well, keep looking. But what we do have is a welcome return. I mean, it's one that we've seen before, but we haven't seen this one in a while. And of Mr. Lee.
Mr.
Right?
Lee.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's not new, but I was just talking to Mr. Lee last night, and he is going to be working on some new stuff.
Oh, yay!
Yeah. He's going to be doing it at Doghouse Theater, and he's going to be working on some stuff.
Nice.
So that's in the pipeline.
All right.
Yeah.
We ought to just change the name of the show to the Lee Patrol.
The Mr. Lee Show.
All right, lay it on us, Tom. I'm sitting on pins and needles here.
Don't break your egg.
Change my seat if I were you. Well, yeah, and crank up and warm up the DP 9000.
Right.
Here we go. Where are we? There we are. Mr. Lee.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. And today we're doing Entenmann's Donuts. Well, the other day, my mom called me and she says, Lee. Now, you have to understand, whenever my mom calls me and she starts a sentence with my name, Lee, it's usually she has to tell me something really, really important. So she calls me up. She goes, Lee. I'm like, yeah, what's up, Mom? She's like, you got to do the Entenmann's. And I'm like, yeah, I can do the Entenmann's. And she's like, and you got to smile more. So here you go, Mom. That's a smile. That's how it works. There you go, Mom. You got the smile. So let's get to it. We're doing the Entenmann's. All scoring is done on the PTT, which is the packaging, texture, and taste. And all scoring is done on the 1 to 2,000 scale, 2,000 being the highest, and nobody gets to 2,000. So let's get to it. Entenmann's were started in 1898 by William Entenmann. He started on Rogers Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. How do you like that? So this company is like 120-something years old. You guys know how I am with accounting. It's relatively close, and that's how it is. So about 120-something years old, whatever 1898 minus 2021 is, and that's how it works. So let's get to it. This donut, I'm sorry, I'm so used to saying cookies. This donut is like a classic. It's a classic donut. When you look at it, when you see it, when you just see this box, you just know it's awesome. Like this box, it shows the frosted donut. Now, it's really important to know this is not a chocolate-covered donut. There's no chocolate used in here. This is a frosted donut. So what that means is it's got a lot of ingredients that give it a frosting coating. But when you're a kid, you think this is a chocolate donut. So to me, my whole life, it's been a chocolate donut. And I was kind of bummed out to find out it's not a chocolate donut. It's a frosted donut. So let's get to it. This box, like that. That's how good I am, right? See, it's better the first time. So this box, I can open up with my eyes closed. I've known this box like my whole life. I know this box. Like, watch this.
Show me, Mr. Lee.
He did it. He really did it.
Look at that.
Look at
Eyes
that.
closed.
Look
I
at
like
what
that.
he did.
That's the way you do it. That's the way you do it. That's why you open a box without even having to look. So we take out. Smells good. Smells really good. So let's get back to it. The glue, all the packaging has decent glue on the side. If you know me, I like a good box with good glue. The glue is pretty good. Came off not too hard. The front had a little tightness to it. What's pretty cool when you open the lip, more donuts. They show you all the donuts. Even though we only have the chocolate, they're showing us all the donuts.
I thought it wasn't chocolate.
All the donuts. All the donuts. There it is. All right. So staying focused. Here we go. I like the fact that they give you the clean window in the front so you can see the product inside so you know what you're getting. It's very important to me. Let's get to it. Let's look at our product. Now, when you look at this donut, number one, you can see through it. Everybody knows I like a product you can see through. The fudge stripe has a great hole that you can see through. So this one's got a good hole to see through. It feels nice.
You like
the texture. It's like smooth. It's like when my little son kisses me on the cheek. It's just genuine. It's nice and smooth.
It gives you acne.
Feels nice. So let's get to it. Smells great. First bite. So let's talk about this. Let's have a good discussion here. So what makes this special is, if you notice, they actually use 2 centimeters of a chocolate frosting on top. Most donuts, you're only going to get like a 1 centimeter frosting, very thin. But this frosting is like a 2 centimeter thick. So what happens is, because it's thicker, you actually feel yourself biting into this donut. So you feel the crunch of the donut, and then you feel the softness of the inner part of the donut, which would be like the cake part. And that makes it awesome. What makes it awesome is you feel yourself crunching through the frosting. And because it's crunchy, the inner cake part is just fantastic. It's like a good combination. It's like eating caramel and cheese popcorn together. It's sweet and salty. It goes together. This chocolate frosting and this cake inside is like the perfect combination. We forgot the crunch. Is there a crunch to this? There's a little crunch. This donut
Crack.
has crunch.
We call it the crack crunch.
Yeah.
There's crack to it.
Yep, recrack.
Crack, redo.
That's unbelievable. Put that in the comment section. Is there any other donut in the world that's got a crunch to it? And if there is, I want to know. So send it to me.
My car spare donut crunches.
It's just great. So let's get to it. It actually tastes better the more you eat it. Because the key is getting the frostiness of the chocolate frosting to coat your whole palate. So your whole palate is covered in this chocolate frosting. And then you eat another piece, and the cake part kicks in. And now you really taste the cake part of the donut, which is light and fluffy. So the thick frosting, the light and fluffy of the cake, that's what I'm here for, to help you understand what we're eating, help break it down. So that's what I got. Let's give it a score. Like I said, everything's done on the 1-2,000 scale, everything. Nobody gets a 2,000. It's a classic donut. So what are we thinking here?
1836.
We give it a good score. Is it the best donut in the whole world?
1811.
Up for debate. That's what we're here for.
1750.
$1, Bob.
1839.
Oh,
Good
that's so
score.
close.
I love the Intimates. See you next show.
Nice.
Wow.
They're a good donut.
And here I thought donuts were made out of flour and sugar and water and all that stuff, but it's really made out of crunch.
I'm glad he highlighted the crunch part of it, because I just appreciated that on the inside by the hole. There's a little bit of crunchiness to it.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
like that whole crunch.
okay.
I like when he raised it to look through it and then made the connection with the fudge stripe also has a hole in the cookie.
Although there was he did falsify information.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, the chocolate frosting, the coating is not 2 centimeters.
No, 2 centimeters is nearly an inch.
Yeah, you'd be breaking your teeth. So I think that's a minus 600.
You got dinged for that. I stuck that under incorrect math.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Barry.
Yeah, I got you covered, Steve.
His score was above 1800 though.
It was. Oh, it was above 1800?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
He had
baby.
1839.
Oh, that's a good score. All right. So he smelled the product. He gave us a history. Those are kind of, we expect that. Yep. Thanks for pointing out. High score. Lost a little on the.
Does millimeter have anything to do? I mean, he said centimeter.
He said centimeter, but he meant millimeter, right?
Meant millimeter.
Well,
I mean, basically, it was 2 mil. It's the one time when something actually was 2 millimeters thick. He didn't say 2 mils and 2 millimeters. He said centimeters. So he's like off by a factor of 10.
Like if this thing was.
I don't ever want to see another one of these guys.
I don't think he knows what he's doing. I'm sorry.
Well, good thing he doesn't make these shits.
Are you kidding? You know how awesome it would be to have a donut with 2 centimeters of frosting on it?
You know how exciting it would be to have Mr. Lee.
You wouldn't know whether it was a donut from a car or a box.
That's right. And it's definitely not chocolate.
No, even though he said
you're
it was.
If you're going to do that, then you might as well make it something good.
Yeah.
I didn't know where to put that chocolate comment.
Oh, yeah. It must be someplace to put it.
He did make some faces.
No, it's not there. It's not there. It's mild stroke. Yiddish.
We could
put it under Denmark errors. I think
we should just add a new category, something like unable to identify objects. right. There we go.
Now, when he looked through the donut hole, I found myself looking at his nose because it kind of led me there. So does that also kind of like refer to his nose? Or no?
I think you're being pretty tough on him, Alex.
I'm being pretty tough.
A nasal redo.
All
I
right,
like how we're putting all this time into this.
Did he ever see the way we grade him?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, he has watched. He has watched many of these.
Oh, good. So he comes up with a preliminary score of 734, which
That's
is
a good score.
Pretty good.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah.
But that's not his final score.
No, because the DP 9000 has to calculate based on the Dawn Patrol rating algorithm. So we're going to go ahead and.
I'm glad I paid for that algorithm.
I thought it said macro.
It's kind of like OpenAI.
That's right. Oh, and he comes up with a 2000. That's
excellent.
That's on the wrong line.
Where did I go? Oh, here.
Because you just added a new line.
I know.
You have to adjust your macro back.
Exactly.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He's only off by a centimeter. We have ruthlessly slaughtered another Sunday afternoon / early evening. Well done.
Very good.
Well done.
It's another hour I know I can never get back.
You can't get it back, but it's like a marriage here, and that's a partnership, and we all wind up on a train.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you got coming up this week?
I have a game Friday.
Nice. Where at?
At Smith's Point Beach at a place called Tiki Joe.
Smith's Point. Nice.
Floyd at the beach.
What's that?
Floyd at the beach.
Wow. And you'll be taking the Floyd Causeway, won't you? Or the
no.
William Floyd Parkway or whatever the hell it is, isn't it?
The Pink Floyd Highway, yeah.
Okay,
Tom, that's pretty good considering you haven't lived up here for 30 years.
I know, but I was always going to Smith's Point back when I had a motorcycle and I was a jerk. Still a jerk, but I don't have a motorcycle anymore. I was every spare moment I was zipping out to Smith's Point, so I spent a lot of time out there.
Nice.
Barry, what you got?
Well, thank you.
I'm going up to Steamboat Springs next weekend for a wedding.
Oh,
so that should be fun.
Sounds good.
3-day weekend.
Interesting.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll be back in time for this thing.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you can probably stretch it out so that you're not. Alex, what you got?
Just work, regular work stuff. Up in the air about the weekend coming up, but what are you doing, Tom?
Why is that so funny?
Because I never think of it. I'm doing that. That's what I'm doing.
That's awesome.
I'm doing a little bit of that and a whole lot of this. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, your wife's back. Nice.
Okay.
What?
What? All right. All right.
Wow. Everybody left. Yeah. I'm the only one here. Finally.
Yes.
Welcome to Alex's Dawn Patrol, everybody. This is the start of a new season. We have a few changes. We lost a few people.
COVID really swept through the team.
I have absolutely no idea how to use this tool. So we'll figure it out all together. That's not me. That is not me.
That's frightening.
That is me, but not the real mustache or hat.
Okay.
While you're up at Steamboat Springs, say hi to Willie for me.
I will.
Well, we somehow lost Alex just in time.
Auf Wiedersehen, baby.
Wiedersehen.
Like in queso.
exactly what I would have said had I thought of it. Bah. Oh, wait.
I don't know what button I hit on my mouse, but it got me right out of the room.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I got to try that.
Okay. Keep hitting that. Keep hitting it. Okay, bye.